is up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome, guys, to yet again another top 10 list. Last time I did my top 10 favorite horror movies of the last decade with Justin, which, speaking of him, he's behind camera right now.
G'day, everyone.
He might chime in from time to time. Since I had so much fun doing that video, I decided to do a top 10 list with Ethan. So, what's up, Ethan?
What's up?
If you don't know, he has been in most of my Blu-ray hunting videos, so this is the first movie review, type conversation we are doing.
Yep.
So, for this top 10, for now, we are deciding to talk about movies that we like that everyone else hates. Now, I've done those videos before, but I feel like I want to do a redux video of that and do it with Ethan, because Ethan has a lot of those movies, which is going to be interesting. Yep. This is going the same scenario as the horror movies of 2010. None of us know what movies we picked, and this is our personal picks. If you don't like these movies, that's fine.
Deal with it.
Yeah, just...
Don't like what I said in my last video, be as biased as you want.
Yeah, be as biased as you want. But these are just our personal picks. We like these movies. If you hate those movies, that's completely fine. Just name off your top 10 movies that you like that everyone else hates. We really want to know, me, Ethan, and Justin wanted to know what movies you like and everyone else hates. So, I don't have any honorable mentions, so my apologies, but Ethan does, so
okay. You
want to take that away, Ethan?
Yeah, so my honorable mentions are G.I. Blues, which is an Elvis Presley film.
I haven't seen that.
Jumper.
Jumper, Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grease 2.
Wow, everyone hates that film.
I enjoy it for some reason.
Wow, okay.
Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh my god.
What the heck is that?
Have you seen it?
I know the movie.
I've actually never seen it.
I'm so embarrassed I never heard of that movie. Let me know if you've seen that movie.
And Cobra.
Cobra.
Oh,
wow. Oh, it's Stallone. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, is it alright if I chime in as well?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
One of my favourite movies, well, it's not a favourite, but it's a movie that I've given more respect over the past few years, is Alien 3.
Okay.
Because, you know, most people I know aren't really fans of Alien 3. Personally, I just like it because I just think it's so much better than I remembered it. And particularly the assembly cut. And another honourable mention I'd say is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Justin will join in a couple of picks, which that's completely fine. I'm happy for you to do it. So, let's talk about movies that we like that everyone else hates. So, let's start off with number 10. So, what's your number 10, Ethan?
My number 10 is Spider-Man 3.
Wow! Yes!
Actually, I'm actually on board with you as well on that one, Ethan.
Okay, explain.
Yeah, this is actually the first Spider-Man film I ever watched.
Same with me.
I watched this first before I watched 1 and 2. So I've got a huge soft spot for this film.
Wow.
And to be completely honest with you, I don't have a problem with it. I know people complain about it, saying oh, there's too many villains and whatnot.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't have a problem with it. I enjoy it. I get a kick out of it.
Wow.
So what do you think of Topher Grace's portrayal of Venom?
Yeah, everyone wants to know that.
I didn't mind it. It is what it is. I didn't mind it.
Okay, that's good.
Because I'll be honest with you, because I actually didn't mind it either. I just think that Tom Hardy came in and did a better job.
Yeah, I agree.
And I haven't seen the Tom Hardy Venom. I haven't seen that film yet.
It's actually a really good watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually on my list, so spoiler alert.
Okay.
But, yeah, okay, so Spider-Man 3 is your number 10.
Yep.
So my number 10 is a Star Wars movie. Now, don't worry, it's not Attack of the Clones, okay, or The Phantom Menace. It's actually the third movie in the prequel trilogy that some people like, but I wouldn't say everyone loves, so I'll add this to my list. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, really?
Yes, I honestly enjoyed it, because, first of all, like what Ethan said...
I think you're going to say Rise of Skywalker for some reason.
No, fuck that movie.
Say that.
I hate Rise of Skywalker so much.
I actually couldn't get through it the second time. I actually fell asleep.
Yeah, I hate everything about that movie. But Revenge of the Sith, like Ethan said with Spider-Man 3, this is the first Star Wars movie I've watched. Which is stupid. I think
you watched that one before you watched A New Hope.
Because obviously Revenge of the Sith came out in 2006 and it would have been
5
technically. So I was 6 when my dad bought it.
Okay.
So I used to love that film. I would say some of the acting was better than it was in Attack of the Clones. I think Hayden Christensen wasn't that bad in that movie. He really tried. Yes, there were some stupid scenes in that movie, not gonna lie. It still has the same things as a prequel does, but for the most part of the movie, I wouldn't say it's the best Star Wars film, but it's probably the most enjoyable out of the prequel trilogy.
Actually,
yeah, it is the best.
I actually have a mate who really loves this movie so much, and I think it's a great thing that Revenge of the Sith I'll paraphrase it. Revenge of the Sith has gotten so much more respect over
Yeah.
a few years,
Yeah.
and I think it's great.
Yeah, exactly. So I loved that final fight scene. A lot of people hated because it was like too mixed in with Yoda and Darth Sidious and Anakin and Obi-Wan. It's a little bit too crampy, but honestly, I thought that scene was epic in my opinion. Just that whole scene where Anakin gets burned. It's just a good guy to villain story in my opinion. And yeah, when he transforms to Darth Vader, I don't give a shit. I don't mind the no scene.
You really don't?
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it. I just love that reveal with Darth Vader. If I was in the theater watching, I would have been shitting my pants because that
Generally-
scene was awesome.
I just find it funny, really.
It was funny, I'll give you that. It did ruin that scene, but it's just that scene where you see Darth Vader for the first time and you see the helmet going on, and when Darth Vader breathes, it's like, man, that was awesome, in my opinion. But anyway, I don't want to drag on. Revenge of the Sith is on my number 10. Sorry for dislikers, but you don't see nothing yet. There's going to be more terrible movies that you hate that we like on this list. Number 9. What is your number 9?
My number 9 is Cocktail, the Tom Cruise film.
Wow, I have not seen it. I heard like a lot of people like that film and like the critics hate it
Yeah.
for the most part. Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoy it. I don't know what it is.
What do you
I
like
don't-
about
I
it?
haven't. Just. I look at it as a time capsule of the 80s. Like,
Okay.
It's a nice time capsule, and you get to see like New York and stuff like that, and it's a cool film.
And Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I really haven't got much to say about it.
Yeah, that's alright.
Which I have a quick question for you, Owen, since Ethan brought it up. What do you consider? What movie do you consider to be the time capsule of the 80s?
Oof.
Ooh, that's difficult
That's
to
a
say.
very difficult question. I
actually.
can't think of one right now.
Because I'll say mine
I
straight
don't know.
away. Breakfast Club.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
I'll
good
pick that
one.
as well.
Yeah.
I love the Breakfast
Yeah,
Club.
that's a good one.
So,
But Tom, what was I gonna say? Yeah, Cocktail. All it is just about a guy he becomes a bartender, and then he gets involved with this guy who's what was his name? No, Brian Brown, the Aussie actor.
I think so.
Yeah,
I haven't
bro-
seen
Yeah,
it.
Brian Brown. Yeah,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
then he becomes a big bartender, and that's all. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like
that's-
it's a guilty pleasure, really. It
Yeah.
is. It's not the best Tom Cruise film. It's not, but I enjoy it.
Yeah,
That's all
cool.
I gotta say.
So Cocktail's on your number 9. My
Yeah.
number 9 is actually we just mentioned that through your Spider-Man 3.
Yep.
And that is Venom.
Oh, really?
A lot of people hated Venom. A lot of people find Venom watchable, but they wouldn't say it's great. I honestly had fun with Venom. I remember watching this movie in the theater, and I was pumped for the movie because I love Venom. I love Venom as a character in the comics. And this movie is going for the Lethal Protector comics, which is awesome. And I thought definitely Tom Hardy was better than Tom
Honestly,
Cruise.
I fucking loved Venom.
Thank you. Just high five there. You know, I'm not the only one. That's good.
Because, like, this may be an unpopular opinion, but I reckon, well, for me, Venom is probably one of the best Marvel movies I've seen in ages.
Wow, I wouldn't go that far, but
It is, because I just feel like it works so well as a standalone
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I thought Venom is like the perfect 80s movie that came out in the 2010s decade in my opinion. Like, I love Tom Hardy. I thought his performance as Venom is great. Like, I love honest trailer said Tom Hardy acts like a crackhead squirrel.
Yeah.
Like, at times I do agree with that, but I thought it was good as Venom, and you gotta admit, Venom looks fucking amazing. Like,
He does.
The look of him, he looks ginormous, he looks great, and the chemistry between Eddie Brock and Venom was fantastic to watch. It was so great.
And it was funny at the same time.
It was funny too. Like, I enjoyed it. It's kind of like a black comedy in some way. Yeah.
The humor is very dark, but it's just like, you know, it's basically what if The Mask...
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the dark version of The Mask.
Because it's basically like what if Jim Carrey's talking to the mask and all that stuff.
That's actually a good explanation of that.
Because
yeah.
that's just how I see the movie in general.
Yeah, the action was awesome. It did took its time, but I didn't find it boring or anything. The only problem I had is the villain. Riot, I thought, the third act gets a little bit silly, but before that, Venom was actually a lot of fun, and I can't wait for Venom.
I just feel like Riz Ahmed was just very miscast in the movie.
He's a fine actor, it's just, yeah, I agree, he is very miscast.
Because he was just very wooden.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
But like I said before, I can't wait for Venom Let There Be Carnage. I can't wait to see what Woody Harrelson does to the table, and Andy Serkis is directing it, which is going to be interesting.
I'm
That's
curious
gonna
to see what other wigs Woody Harrelson would wear.
Yeah.
Because if you see at the post-credit scene, he's got that really weird fucking hair.
Yeah, that wig looks terrible, but I like Woody Harrelson. I'm curious to see him as Carnage. So, yeah, Venom, I don't give a shit. I like the movie. Deal with it. It's on my number 9. So now it's time for number 8. So what's your number 8?
My number 8 is Deuce Bigelow, a male gigolo.
Oh
which
my
is,
god! I haven't watched that film in years with Rob Schneider. With Rob Schneider.
Yeah, with Rob Schneider.
Oh
yeah.
my god! Yeah,
Not many
go.
people
I don't
talk
think
about-
Justin knows that
Yeah,
film.
not many people talk
I
about this
don't
film.
think I've seen
Uh,
it.
It's
I
just,
remember it.
it's just about this guy named Deuce Bigelow, and he meets this guy who is a male gigolo, and then Deuce takes his place because his friend goes off to another country,
I kinda
and then he
believe what
becomes a
that
male
movie
gigolo,
Oh
and
my
that's all it is.
Freaking
This is a childhood favorite, by the way.
freaking Amy Poehler plays that chick with anger issues. She just swears like 3 times. I'm going.
Yeah, I remember.
the animatronic leg.
Ah, yes.
That was
yeah.
funny as hell. Oh my god, that's surprising. I didn't expect Deuce Bigelow to be on your list.
No,
I haven't seen that film in years.
no one talks about it. Honestly.
Alright,
Well,
so-
it's better than the sequels, European.
Yeah, I
Gigolo.
haven't seen it,
That
I
one-
didn't
it's
care.
not. It's not that.
I didn't even care
I
for
didn't
it.
care about it.
Alright, so coming to my number 8 is another comic book movie. There's gonna be some comic book films on my list because I'm a fan of comic book movies. This is a sequel. The first movie was awesome, and the critics loved it. And the second one, critics don't really like it as much, and I honestly don't understand. And that movie goes to Kick-Ass 2. Yeah, the director, I'm so shocked. You dropped your phone.
I cracked my phone case
Oh, oh no.
on camera.
Oh my god.
Well, you can
Crap.
You can still see the picture properly.
Yeah.
Still see it.
If you don't
Look
know,
at that.
Ethan is a
Look at that.
huge Bond fan, by the
Yeah,
way.
there's no James Bond
Alright,
films
anyway,
on
back
my
to
list,
Kick-Ass
though.
2. I didn't notice the director that film directed Truthful There and Fantasy Island, which was weird. But Kick-Ass 2, it felt like a different movie than the first movie. I thought the movie was just a lot of fun. It wasn't as good as the first one, absolutely not. But it still has, in my opinion, it still has the same charm as the first Kick-Ass, but it had some heart into it, and I loved Jim Carrey in that film. I thought they didn't really show him all that much as Colonel Stars and Stripes, but I loved him in the film. Hit Girl, I like that they go for her high school drama in the film. It just shows her as a person. Chloe Grace Moretz was very fantastic in the film. But yeah, the action was awesome. The motherfucker, that's the villain's name in the movie, played by that guy from Superbad. I forgot his name. But yeah, everything about Kick-Ass 2 was just a lot of fun. It's really a movie that just knows what it is. It's trying to be a fun comic book movie that knows what it is, and I can see why people hate it because it doesn't have the exact same charm as the first movie. But yeah, I think Kick-Ass 2 is just a lot of fun. The action was fun. Mother Russia is so badass in the film. Justin, you haven't seen Kick-Ass 2, haven't you?
No, I've only seen the first one.
Which
Same, yeah.
I reckon you guys should see. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, Kick-Ass 2, I understand why people hate it. There are some problems with it, I'm not gonna lie. But I enjoyed the movie. I'm fine with it. It's on my number 8.
Because I think I only know Kick-Ass 2 because Jim Carrey's in it.
Yeah, Kick-Ass 2, yeah. He was in Kick-Ass 2.
Jim Carrey, cause,
I thought he was awesome in that film.
oh, well, then I'll probably check it out.
Yeah,
at
my
some point.
recommendation. So, Ethan, what's your number 7?
My number 7 is Zathura, Space Adventure.
Wow!
Yeah.
Yes! I love that movie!
Yeah, look, I know it's I believe it's set in the Jumanji universe.
Yeah, it's
I
like the same
prefer
one.
this film more than Jumanji. I like the concept more, how it's a house
I agree.
in space. I find that more interesting. As a kid,
Josh,
I found Jumanji incredibly boring, I'm not gonna lie.
I honestly kind of
And-
agree with that.
And Zathura, I watched that before I watched Jumanji.
That's probably going to be on my honorable mention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I loved this film as a kid.
Josh Hutcherson is such
so
an asshole.
fun.
Josh Hutcherson is such an asshole in that movie. I always hated him.
Well, he got better.
Yeah, he got better. And Tex Shepard is in it.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And
I
Kristen
mean,
Stewart.
like-
And Kristen Stewart's in it.
Imagine that, playing a board game and then you go into space. Like,
I
actually,
reckon they should have
wanted,
done-
as a kid, I literally wanted the Zathura board game. As a kid, I literally wanted that.
Yeah, I thought that's.
But I was a kid,
John
so,
Favreau
like-
directed that movie too, which that's interesting. Who did
Yeah.
Iron Man, The Jungle
Yeah,
Book,
John Favreau. Yeah.
and,
Well, if you
and,
found-
and a shit remake of The Lion King. Yep.
I'm curious, Ethan, if you found Jumanji kind of boring, so what did you think of the other Jumanji movies?
Yeah.
I haven't seen them.
You haven't seen Welcome to the Jungle?
No, I have no. I
have to
don't
show
have any.
them that
I
one
don't
day.
have any interest in Jumanji.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's fair enough.
Well, that's awesome. So Pharaoh's on
It
number
is what
7.
it is. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
I enjoyed that movie. It comes to my number 7. It's a Pixar movie that everyone seems to hate. Don't worry, it's not Cars 2. But it's the first Cars. Now, the reason why
I love that film.
Thank you. The reason why I like the first Cars movie is because it's a special movie. Because it's the first movie I've ever saw in the theater.
You know what? That's actually the second film I ever saw in
What's the
cinema.
first?
Ice Age 2.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ice Age 2, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense you were a kid back then. I was about to say,
I was
that's an
5
odd,
when I
that's an
was-
odd first
yeah.
movie. Anyway, yeah, I honestly liked Cars. I don't love it as much as any other Pixar movies, but it's a movie that I grew up with as a kid,
Same.
and usually with childhood nostalgia, it will always stay in me,
Same.
and it'll still hold up to me,
Same
because
here.
I always remember those movies as a kid. But Cars
Yeah.
as a movie, I don't find it bad. It's a good underdog story.
I forgot about Cars. If I remembered, I would have put it on my
Like,
list.
I'll give you that. Mater is annoying as hell, but I would say
I didn't
he's
mind Mater.
I'll say he's fine in this movie.
You're done.
I'll say Mater is fine in this movie. In Cars 2, yes, he was annoying as shit. I hated Mater in Cars 2.
Because he was mainly, he was pretty much the main focus of the movie, wasn't he?
Yeah, and the posters market that Lightning McQueen is, and Mater's just on the side. Mater is the main character in Cars 2.
Because it's basically like a redneck James Bond, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought Cars has really good characters.
To me, it's just Cars 1. The sequels don't exist.
Yeah.
To me,
Cars
that's
3,
how it is.
Cars 3 I find okay.
Yeah, I don't care.
But anyway, Cars has good characters, in my opinion, except for Mater. Doc, I thought his character was really good when I rewatched it. His character is very heartwarming at times. The soundtrack of that film I grew up with as a kid. I love Real Gone.
Life is a Highway.
Yeah, of course, classic.
Love that song.
Classic song
That's
in
classic.
that movie. Yeah, it had some really good adult jokes too, I'm not gonna lie. I thought some of the adult jokes are actually hilarious. In my opinion, I don't give a shit what you guys say. That's your opinion. This is my opinion. I thought the jokes were funny. The movie goes heartwarming. It's just a lot of fun. So that is why Cars is on my number 7. Alright, so it's time for number 6. So Ethan, what's your number 6?
My number 6. This is an old film.
Okay.
Hans Christian Andersen from back in the 50s. This is a Danny Kaye film.
Really? No one liked that film?
Well, no one talks about it.
Okay.
This is a classic film. Now, here's the thing. This is actually one of the first films I ever saw. Ever.
Really?
I'm pretty sure this might be the first. No, one of my earliest memories is like sitting down, watching this film on VHS.
Okay.
And I've got a huge soft spot for it, and it's actually quite personal because it goes far back. Like no one really talks about this film. For Danny Kaye films, they probably talk about like White Christmas or Court Jester.
I've seen Court Jester, which
yeah,
is a
but-
classic.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The film's just about, Hans Christian Andersen, the author. He was a cobbler, and then he went to Copenhagen, and then he met a girl, and made her shoes for a ballerina dancer. But
Okay.
his talent was with telling stories to little kids. And then he...
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Alright, cool. So my number 6 is another comic book movie. It's gonna get annoying once in a while, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Number 6, most audience liked it, but critics don't. This is a movie that I honestly freaking loved when I first saw it, and I watched it like a couple times in theaters.
Yeah.
And that movie goes to Man of Steel.
Ooh.
I love Superman as a superhero. He's a classic, no matter what. This is one of those movies that made Superman a badass. Which
Yeah.
is what we kind of all wanted to see. Like, sometimes we get
Yeah.
sick of Superman, like, oh, help me, save me, and all that stuff, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan's involved with this, and Zack Snyder's directing it. And in my opinion, with 300, this is probably the best Zack Snyder film.
I don't know about you guys, because obviously the DCEU didn't really start. Their earlier movies weren't that great up until Shazam came out.
Yeah,
I think Man of
enjoyed
Steel.
I
Shazam.
didn't like Shazam, to be honest.
Really? I like Shazam.
I didn't get into it.
Honestly, I think, in my personal opinion, Man of Steel and Shazam are like probably one of their best DCEU movies, including Wonder Woman.
Can I be honest
Yeah.
with you?
Sure.
Suicide Squad's my favourite out of the DCU.
Wow!
Actually, don't mind Suicide Squad. I genuinely liked it a lot.
That would be on his list then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Man of Steel. Everything about it is a Superman origin story like the original, but just made it more badass and all that stuff. And a lot of people hate it because Superman's not supposed to destroy things. If you think about it, General Zod is the one that made him do it. Like, he punches him to a building and all that stuff. So it was kind of General Zod's fault all along. But I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I thought he was phenomenal. It's the first time I ever saw Henry Cavill in a movie, and he was phenomenal.
Same here.
I like Michael Shannon as Zod. At times he goes a bit over the top, but I liked him as Zod. And the action was freaking amazing, and some of the scenes that Zack Snyder shot with the flying scenes was amazing. And the whole story of the movie was actually really investing the whole way through, and it's trying to be basically Batman Begins with Superman, which did work if they continue on the Man of Steel genre instead of doing Batman v Superman and, you know, making this whole universe. Because I feel like Man of Steel felt more like a standalone movie in my opinion. I felt like the whole movie felt like if this was the Dark Knight trilogy, that would be for Superman.
And I reckon the soundtrack was amazing.
Oh, the theme. Hans Zimmer, who did the theme for this movie.
I believe so, yeah.
I love it. Love the theme so much. So yeah, Man of Steel. I enjoyed the movie. I don't understand why people hate it, but if you guys hate it, that's completely fine. But critics didn't really like the film, so that's why I'm putting it on my list. So Man of Steel is on my number 6. Now, we're up to our top 5 movies that we like and everyone else hates. Yeah. So top 5, here we go. Ethan, take it away.
Okay, so my number 5 is a film called Bulletproof. It's not Bulletproof with M. Sandler.
I was about to say.
No, it's got Gary Busey.
So it's another film that a lot of people haven't heard of.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't heard of this film. Like, I found out this film through Stan. This was on Stan a few years ago, but they took it down. All it is about this detective guy named Bulletproof because he's been shot like 40 times and he survived. And he keeps all these bullets. And at the first half of the film, or like at the start of it, it's kind of like a buddy cop, lethal weapon style film.
When did this film came out?
1988.
Oh, okay.
And then the rest is like an action film, like Delta Force, Chuck Norris style.
Yeah.
I like it. And there's like a tank, a really cool tank at the end.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a fun film.
So I have to check that.
And then he's playing a saxophone.
80s.
Yeah.
It's like the Lost Boys. Yeah. This guy's shirtless playing a saxophone. Anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, so my number 5 is a crossover movie. Now, these two characters in the film are some of my favorite horror movie characters of all time.
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, you know where this is going. Now, this is a film that I love most of these franchises. This is a crossover. If I was like, now, I would have been pumped. Because I love these two figures. And this is by one of the worst directors in my opinion. This is the only best film from this director that everyone hates. But I honestly enjoy it. And that movie goes to Alien vs. Predator.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yes. I love this movie. I don't care what people are saying about it. I thought the aspects of the film is exactly what I wanted. Yes, this film took place in 2004. It didn't make sense. I get it. But I feel like Alien vs.
Separate universe.
Yeah. But I felt like Alien vs. Predator felt more like a fan film. Which, in a good way, which I liked. The fight scenes, holy shit. I don't care what people say, they are freaking amazing to watch. Some of the human characters are not actually that bad. Like Freddy vs. Jason, I hate the human characters. Batman v Superman, most of the human characters I wasn't that invested. Especially Jesse Eisenberg, hated that guy. Spoiler, that's not on my list.
You saying Alien vs. Predator is Paul W.S. Anderson's only best movie. I think Mortal Kombat's his best
Mortal
movie.
Kombat is great too. I forgot all about that.
Really?
I
What?
could not stand it.
I enjoyed Mortal Kombat, but
No, you should be saying that to Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
yeah, that's the exact
I haven't
opposite.
seen Annihilation. I was not.
Oh
not bothered.
Save that for movies that
I'm
we
not
hate.
I'm not a Mortal.
loves.
I'm not a Mortal Kombat.
Save that for that.
I mean, well, that's fair enough, I guess.
Anyway, it's a movie that just knows what it is. It's a movie about two creature flicks fighting each other, and it's a movie that just knows what it is. So I had fun with Alien vs. Predator. Not Requiem. That movie is shit.
Haven't seen it.
Hated that film so much, but Alien vs. Predator felt like a fan film in a great way, and I honestly really liked the film.
You haven't seen Requiem, I doubt you'll see anything. Because you can't...
It's one of the darkest films ever made by filming standpoint.
Literally, you can't fucking see shit in Requiem.
Yeah, honestly, like
What do
the
you mean you
opening.
can't
The
see
opening.
shit?
You just can't see anything.
You can't see shit.
The lighting is so dark, you don't know what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. I
So if
agree.
you try to bump up your TV's brightness and contrast, you still won't see anything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, don't want to drag on. Alien vs. Predator, fun movie. I understand why people hate it. It is The timeline and the story aspect wasn't perfect, but it's just about two creatures fighting together, and that's entertainment for me. So that's on my number 5. So now, number 4.
Okay, my number 4 is the remake to the 1960s Breathless. Now, Breathless is
a lot of movies I haven't heard of.
Jean-Luc Godard. Now, that is like, if you're a film buff, you would know it. Like, it's Criterion Collection.
Okay.
It's on the Criterion Collection. And this is the remake. I haven't seen the original, but the remake, this is where, you know, it feels like a pre-Tarantino film. I feel like he got inspired by this film. What the film is about is this guy who goes from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, and then he kills a cop, and now he's on the run, and he's trying to get money, and yeah, that's basically what it is. And he hooks up with this chick, this French girl.
French girls.
Yeah.
Paint
And
me
I
like
like
French
this
girls.
film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do French babes shave their pits?
Home Alone. I remember that line. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Remember.
Oh yeah. That's like a question everyone's got in their minds. Like, imagine researching that question. Like, imagine just saying it to Siri, like, as a question. Hey Siri, hang on, let's just do this quickly.
It'd be hot if they don't.
Hey Siri. Oh, sorry. Come on, Siri. Do French babes shave their pits?
I found this on the web.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Alright, so my number 4 is actually on your list, Ethan, and
Yeah.
it's another comic book film. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Coming into my number 4 goes to Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
I agree with Ethan. It was actually my first ever Spider-Man film watch.
Yeah.
And I grew up with this movie, like what I said with Cars. It's childhood nostalgic.
Same.
Yes, there are way too many things that's going on, but honestly, it's so much better than The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Everything about that
I
movie
think I'd
sucks.
rather watch Spider-Man 3 than the
Which,
Amazing
a
Spider-Man.
fun fact about Justin, he hates Spider-Man Far From Home, by the way.
Fucking hate it.
That's on his number 1.
What are your thoughts on Tom Holland's Spider-Man?
I like it though. I just don't think the standalone movies did him justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Yeah, Spider-Man 3, a lot of people said there was too many things happening, and I get it. I didn't like Topher Grace's Venom, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I hated him. He's my only part that I'm like, okay, I agree with the fans. Emo Peter, honestly, I thought it was hilarious. I think it was trying to be funny. Because in
That was
Spider-Man
funny.
2, there's a scene called Raindrops Can Fall on My Head scene. And what the difference between those two is that, at least in Spider-Man 2, it makes more sense with that, because, like, you know, when Peter throws away the costume, he's now feeling happy again. I get that. But in Spider-Man 3, it's like the Venom suit, it shows what it does to him. It shows him that he's, like, changing into this complete asshole. Which I'm fine with. The black suit, like, plot, I don't mind. Harry Osborn's memory loss should have been better. Or at least, Harry should have just been the main villain. I don't mind Thomas Hedgehog as the Sandman. I love the way they introduced him. When you see him coming out of the sand. That scene was beautiful, I'm not gonna lie.
I just think of all the villains in Spider-Man 3, Sandman was probably the best.
I agree. Because, like, literally, like, the new Goblin has just only appeared once, and then he appears to help Peter. Like, he wasn't a villain the whole movie. But, yeah, Spider-Man 3, it was just a fun movie. The action was mostly great. Yeah, there are some digital face CGI, but I don't mind that. It's literally, like, a movie that I don't think was as bad as people are saying. I think The Amazing Spider-Man 2 did it way worse than this movie, to be honest, because I feel like there is no story with The Amazing Spider-Man 2. This one has its story, but it just moves on with different aspects, which I'm fine with. So, yeah, Spider-Man 3 is on my number 4. So, let's go into our number 3. So, Ethan?
Okay, my number 3 is a film called Xanadu. Now
Oh my
this
God,
is
so many films we haven't heard of.
This is actually a musical that has Olivia Newton-John.
Okay, I know
This
Olivia
came out
Newton-John.
a couple of years after
Yeah, you showed me that movie, didn't you?
after Grease. I believe that she was offered a role in Urban Cowboy, which was another John Travolta film, but then she went on and did this film. And it also has Michael Beck from The Warriors.
Okay.
So what this film's about, it's got this artist who designs album covers, and then he meets this girl who's like from this, like, I don't know, this from like the heavens and something like that. She's like an angel or something. and then she opens up this like this dance club or something, like a roller skating club, because this was shot in
Let me know down
this was
below
shot
if
in
you
the
guys
late
heard.
70s. So like this was the roller disco days. And this film actually has Gene Kelly This was actually his last film
Gene
that
Kelly.
he did. You know, Singing in the Rain.
Yeah,
on the-
yeah,
on
I
the
know who he
Town
is.
and all that.
Yeah.
But
Classic.
this was his last film, and the main reason why I like this film is because of the soundtrack. This has a killer soundtrack. It's so
And
underrated.
people-
This has songs like Xanadu, Suddenly with Cliff Richard, and then you had songs like I can't remember the names, but they were too good.
I have to see
And
those films.
well, I'll tell you one thing: the cinematography sucks in this film. It sucks. If you watch a video explaining, I think there's tons of videos about it, but the cinematography is just. I'm not an expert with cinematography, but you can have a look for itself. It speaks for itself. It's not the best, but it's a guilty pleasure.
Okay. I haven't heard of any of those films you're
Watch
mentioning.
it. It's on binge.
So people who
Sign
haven't
up
heard
to
of it,
binge.
I'll count those in our list, like movies that we
Yeah.
never heard of but you like. I'll count that in for this list.
Yeah.
Alright, so my number 3 is a Disney live action remake that
Yeah.
most people hate Disney live action remakes, which they're not wrong about that because I feel like they are unnecessary. The Jungle Book I wouldn't count in because everyone loves the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
But there is one movie that a lot of people didn't like. It actually came out last year. It's a remake of one of my favorite films, actually, one of my favorite Disney films, actually. And I thought this film wasn't as great, but it was at least a lot of fun. So my number 3 goes to Aladdin. Now,
I was gonna say,
like-
Aladdin as well.
yeah, I honestly had fun with this movie. The thing about Aladdin remake is that it's a remake, but it's like its own way. It's not the exact shot-for-shot remake like The Lion King was. I thought the remake of Aladdin is a remake that does copy from the original, but also adds up more stuff different to it, which I actually did like.
I held off on seeing the Aladdin remake for a while because I just thought it'd be boring. But
I saw this movie twice in theaters.
I actually saw it. My auntie got me to watch it, and I was like, "Hey, this is actually really good." Mainly because of Will Smith.
Well, yeah, Will Smith stole this movie. Like, I think he was great as a genie. Yes, the blue CGI genie, yeah, it gets bad at times, but it wasn't as bad as it was in the trailers.
Because like the only reason why I'd watch it is because I just want to see Will Smith being Will Smith.
Yeah. I love Speechless, the song. I thought Naomi Scott did a great job singing that song, and that's a cool new addition to the story as well. It makes so much sense. Yeah, this movie is just a lot of fun from start to finish. Yes, I didn't like Jafar. I thought they really ruined Jafar for me.
He looked a bit too young. Actually.
Exactly. He looks like Jafar if he had a son or something, or a nephew.
Looks like someone in a really bad costume.
A lot of people didn't like Mina Masuda as Aladdin. I find him fine. And it's one of those Disney live action films that I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to because they're actually planning to make a sequel to it. Which, I don't mind seeing it. And I think Guy Ritchie, like, he did this film really, really well. Like, some of the musical sequences does sound a bit auto-tuned, but it wasn't that bad. Like, a friend like me, I love Will Smith's interpretation of that song. That was a fantastic moment. But, yeah, Aladdin as it is, it was just a fun movie that knows what it is. It's not trying to ruin the original. It's just trying to be just a nostalgic remake that also felt like it's a movie on its own. So Aladdin, it's on my number 3. Number 2. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Thank God it's a movie we know. Thank God it's a movie we know.
No, this film, there's
Almost.
no plot. All it is like music video after music video after music
I
video.
haven't seen that in years.
I don't know what it is. I really enjoy it. I don't know what it is.
I put it on TV one time. I actually genuinely enjoyed it.
I really
Wow.
enjoyed it.
Holy shit, I didn't
don't know
expect
what
that
it
at
is.
all.
No,
Wow.
I don't know what it is. Oh, like
Well, like with Deuce Bigelow.
I grew up listening to Michael Jackson, so
Who
that's
hasn't?
probably. And I don't know.
So what's your favourite part in Moonwalker of all the
Yeah,
music
what's the
videos
best
stitched
music video out of them
together?
all?
Okay.
Come on, there's a lot.
Probably Speed Demon, I guess. I don't know. Or
Okay, that's not bad.
I mean, Smooth Criminal was actually fun.
Yeah,
that's
that's
actually
the
Joe
best
Pesci
sequence.
and stuff like
That
that.
was
That's actually my favourite in
Although I'm,
Yeah,
not,
same.
although I'm not a big fan of
Same.
Speed Demon, the song, but the music video was cool.
Most
It
of
was
Michael
looking
Jackson's
good,
music videos are freaking legendary.
but I say Beat It is my favourite
I love
music video.
Thriller.
Smooth Criminal
Thriller-
is my favourite. The one in Moonwalker, at least.
Thriller's my
Yeah.
favorite. Thriller's probably the most iconic.
Thrillers get the fuck out of me. When
Yeah,
I
me
see it.
too, but I
Same
love
here.
it. But I love the video.
Because you know when Michael Jackson's turning into a werewolf.
I thought it was funny when I watch it now when he's like,
Yeah.
That fucking
Yeah.
I remember seeing that in school for the first time. I fucking screamed my head off.
louder than the chick did. Go, "Ah!"
No, like not as loud as she is, but I've started to scream my fucking head.
Yeah.
That was scary.
Back then when I was scared of her, like I was scared of like when turns into a werewolf. Now when I'm watching, I'm like, bitch, run! Why are you standing there just screaming your freaking eggs off while you slowly turn into a werewolf? It's like, imagine she just freaking left, and then the werewolf's like, "Roar!"
You You know,
Where'd she go?
you know, now that I think about it, the werewolf looks more like a cat than it has.
I'm just like, oh, cute little doggy.
It's not a kitty if you ask me.
Anyway, moving on. So Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. That's awesome.
Yeah.
My number 2. I think Justin will be happy about this. I love this franchise. We reviewed it together. I don't care what people say about this freaking franchise. I'm just going from the first movie. It is freaking Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck yeah!
I love that.
A lot of people hate the Transformers franchise because Michael Bay just...
It's the only one I like.
Yeah, I like most of them, but the first Transformers, I grew up with this movie.
The first and third one, I think, is...
He likes the third one a lot.
Yeah, I do.
I didn't like
Which
the
that
third
is
one.
interesting. So yeah, the first Transformers, the movie was just a fun extravaganza that works at first. Like, it works as a movie on its own, and then when a sequel's come out, everyone's starting to hate it. But I love Transformers all the time. Like, every time I watch the first Transformers, I always have a kick out of it. The Transformers look freaking amazing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Michael Bay, like, even though, like, some of his Transformers films are terrible, most of the Transformers look really good. Except for the fourth one, I would say.
Fourth one's actually pretty boring.
Yeah, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. You're not
It
wrong
is.
about that. But the first Transformers, it's just a lot of... Oh, someone... Sorry, interruption. Most of the film was fun. The fight scenes were amazing to watch. It's just a movie that I just grew up with as a kid, and I can't just take the childhood nostalgic away. But as a movie, it's just a fun summer popcorn movie, and of course, Optimus Prime is my favorite Transformer. I don't care.
Ariel Samuel James Witwicky, descendant of Archibald Witwicky.
If you can hear his impression, yes, that's his impression of Optimus Prime. But yeah, Transformers, nothing much to say. It's just a fun movie as it is. I understand why people hate these movies, especially the first one, but I enjoyed Transformers, the first one, as a whole. Alright guys, the time has come to talk about the number 1 movie that we like that everyone else dislikes. So,
Yeah.
are you ready, Ethan?
I've actually got one too. So.
Alright, let's do Justin's after mine. We'll do.
Well, no, I'll do it after used to.
Alright, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Alright, so Ethan, you ready?
Okay.
Give us the moment.
My
of truth.
number 1 is Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Whoa! Do people hate that film?
Yes. And
Wow.
the whole reason why is because it's slow. The whole film is slow. That's why they call it Star Trek: The Slow Motion Picture.
So it's not on par with the popularity of The Wrath of Khan, is it?
No, it isn't.
Oh.
Wow!
No, it
I'm
really
surprised.
isn't.
I haven't seen the motion
It's
picture.
popular, but it's not as popular as like Wrath of Khan, Voyage Home, First Contact, the 2009 Star Trek film. Like, it's not up there with those. A lot of people, they say it's like one of the worst Star Trek films. They say it's down there with like Final Frontier and Insurrection and Into Darkness and whatnot. But I feel like this film is the most Star Trek-y. And what I mean by that is that this film, it's very Star Trek-y in the way of like, you know, they're exploring new worlds and stuff like that. With this film, there is no villain. Okay, there's like this it's about this I think it's like a probe or something like that, and it's this thing called Vija, and it's like a threat to the Federation, and so like the Enterprise goes out to check it out. It just feels so Star Trek-y when it comes, you know, like in the show it said like to seek out new lives and new civilizations. Well, that's what this film is. That's what it is. Instead of like Wrath of Khan, it's against like a villain, and same with like Search for Spock and Final Frontier and Undiscovered Country. It's just got snarling villains.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
And you kind of feel like that it slowly lost the essence of Star Trek.
Yeah, I feel like they just become films, especially
Yeah.
the Kelvin timeline. I feel like they're just films. Although I do like the 2009 Star Trek film. I'm not a big fan of Into Darkness and Beyond.
I love the Star
but
Trek movies.
The motion picture is actually my favourite Star Trek film.
I'm surprised people didn't like that film. I haven't seen it personally. I'm not honestly a huge Star Trek fan.
Well, I'm more of a Star Trek fan than a Star Wars fan, to be honest.
So we'll both have different colours.
Well,
But that's
at least-
okay.
But it doesn't mean I don't like Star Wars.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I hate Star Trek, you know? Like, I do like Star Trek, I'm just not a huge fan on it.
But
So-
at least it was pretty interesting to hear how you felt about the Star Trek movies after the motion picture film.
Don't get me wrong, I do like them, except for like Final Frontier and Insurrection. And
I haven't seen any of them.
And-
I've seen Wrath of Khan, but I haven't seen the rest of it.
Wrath of Khan's great, but
It is good. I like
I just
Wrath of
prefer
Khan.
motion picture.
So, do you have any plans on checking out the TV shows at some point?
I've seen, because I
I
grew
heard
up
about
with
him.
Star Trek. I grew up with like the shows, well, except for like, I grew up with Next Generation and the original series and Deep Space Nine. I didn't really grow up with Voyager. And I watched a little bit of Enterprise, and I watched the animated series.
Okay.
So I really was a Star Trek fan as a kid. Like I had all the episodes on VHS of the Next Generation. I had some of the original series,
Yeah.
some of Deep Space Nine, one of Voyager, and I had the films on VHS as well. So I was a Star Trek fan as a
So,
kid.
do you plan on checking out the
Anyway.
Amazon shows?
I've already watched Picard. I've
Oh,
already watched it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Star Trek Motion Picture is your number one. That's interesting, actually. So my number one is a comic book film. This is a film that everyone hates. Like everyone really hates. It's not like on par with Batman, Robin, Superman 4, those type of movies. This is a movie that is directed by a really, really revolutionary director who directed some of my favorite superhero franchises of all time, and Justin may know what I'm talking about because we discussed this today actually
Have we?
on the way shopping because we hanged out today.
Okay.
So my number one, it may surprise everyone. This is honestly a childhood comic film, and it's honestly one of my favorites, in my personal opinion. That is Superman Returns.
Oh yes.
I know. People are going to be like, what? I love Superman Returns. Now, here's the thing. This might be an unpopular opinion. I love Superman Returns more than Man of Steel. Now, here's the thing why. I'm going through the complaints that people have with the movie. First, it was boring. People say it was very boring.
It was.
I don't find it boring. I honestly enjoyed it from start to finish.
Ethan said that with no regrets.
His face. Regret it! No kidding. No kidding. I don't find it boring at all. I find it entertaining. And another thing, Superman stalking Lois Lane. Now here's the thing. Yes, it's kind of silly. But if you think about it, Superman is in love with Lois Lane still.
Yeah.
And you see that connection going throughout. You see that Superman is still in love with Lois Lane. And he's just, he's stalking her, but it was a bad thing. But he's just seeing what her lifestyle is like while Superman is gone. Like, it's very heartwarming, that scene where she talks about that she was in love with Superman and she's just changed basically when Superman came back. Another thing, Superman doesn't throw a goddamn punch in the movie. There's not much action scenes. Not every action scene had to involve a fist fight scene. With Superman saving people for most of the movie, I count that as action. The plane scene, in my opinion, was freaking awesome. I love that plane scene. I thought that scene was, in my opinion, the best Superman scene I've ever seen.
I think one of my favourite moments in Superman Returns is when he goes up against the guy with the really big machine gun.
Yeah, that scene was awesome. Like, I know, like, everyone's like, why didn't Superman just punch him? I'm like, I think you guys know what's going to happen. I like that it didn't show that.
Scene, yeah,
I thought that scene adds the humor into it. Brandon Routh, I like him as Superman. I think he represents Christopher Reeve really well. He does a great impression of him. He even has the look, in my opinion, a little bit. He looks a bit like Christopher Reeve. It's more of the impression of that. And this film kept the nostalgic of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, but also felt like its own thing as well. And Kevin Spacey, I liked him as Lex Luthor. I really do. He's better than Jesse Eisenberg, that's for sure. I hate Jesse Eisenberg. Most of the movie, I remember watching this movie in theaters as a kid, and I freaking enjoyed it. And after I watched it, I'm like, I can see this as more as a filmmaking movie, more than like Man of Steel, like an action pack. This is more of a personal, kind of realistic superhero film that I honestly really enjoy. Like the final act, I don't mind Superman lifting on. I thought that scene was intense. Like that is the battle that they can only do with Lex Luthor, because if Superman fights Lex Luthor, he will win.
Because funnily
In
enough,
5 seconds, he will win.
Funnily enough, because they chose Brandon Routh because he looked like Christopher Reeves. Funny thing is that something I didn't realize years ago, that like Kevin Spacey also bears some sort of resemblance to Gene Hackman.
Yeah, he does. He does. I think he does, in my opinion. Well, back with Superman lifting the island, I feel like that is the final battle between him and Lex Luthor, because he's versing what he had created, which I thought that is perfect for Superman versing Lex Luthor. There are some heartwarming scenes. It still kept it nostalgic. Bryan Singer, in my opinion, did a great direction. Yes, I wish he'd still be involved with X-Men Last Stand, but I honestly don't understand why people hate Superman Returns. I think it's a great film. I think most of the film I enjoyed from start to finish. Yes, there were some problems with it, but for the most part, out of all the films I've seen, I honestly always loved Superman Returns. I understand why people didn't like it, but in my opinion, I love Superman Returns. It's probably one of my favorite Superman movies, with Superman the movie and Superman 2 in my personal opinion. With Man of Steel. Except for Superman 3 and 4, I hate them, but Superman Returns, Man of Steel, the first two Superman movies I love. And I think Superman is a superhero that I always grew up with as a kid. So Superman Returns, I'm sorry people, you hate that film, but I honestly enjoyed it. So before we end it, Justin also has a number one that he wants to talk to us very, very quickly. So what is it, Justin?
Superman 4 Quest for Peace. I'm joking.
I'm going to kill you!
I'm joking.
That's a fun film. It's fun.
Nuclear Man. You can't beat him.
One of the best villains in superhero history. Okay.
I know, better than Doomsday.
No, fuck it.
I'm
Doomsday
joking.
was better. Alright, go.
No, my actual pick is Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen
I've
that
seen
movie.
it. It's my favourite of all the Friday the 13th.
You want to come in and just talk?
Oh,
You want
come
to stay
on.
behind? Yeah.
Sit
Let's just make a room. Can we see Ethan? If we can't see him, it doesn't matter. He already explained.
I'll go.
We'll just
I'll
cuddle
go.
in.
I'll come
Alright.
back. I'll come
Yeah,
back.
you.
Alright, Ethan will be the cameraman for now. So, why Friday the 13th 5, The New Beginning was your number
Well,
one?
mainly because obviously the Friday the 13th movies was very, I guess, formulaic. Besides the first
They
one.
were. They really
Until,
were.
because it was just based, because Jason was like the main focus point, he just killed people.
Yeah.
Why I love Part 5 so much is that, like, spoilers for those who haven't seen it.
That's alright.
The twist ending is that Jason wasn't the killer. It was someone else who was Jason, and that was like one of my favorite plot twists of Part 5, and that's what makes it my favorite one. And the hockey mask is what happens to be my favorite of the Friday the 13th franchise. But yeah, a lot of people I know actually don't like this movie. They actually hate it. But it's personally one of my personal favorite horror movies as well.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's a good pick. So, guys, Ethan, you want to come back in?
we'll have Ethan come back in, and I'll go.
Yeah, alright. So, thank you, Justin,
Get out.
for representing your number
Eat
one.
shit.
So, thanks, Justin. Thank freaking Christ it wasn't Superman 4. Okay.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Justin, for explaining your number one. And that is it, guys. Talking about our 10 movies that we like and everyone else hates. Ethan definitely has the most interesting ones, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I definitely will check out those movies. Some of the movies are movies that no one has heard of, so I'll count that in on the list. So, guys, let us know down below what are your top 10 movies that you like that everyone else dislikes. And let us know down below if you want to see us talk about our top 10 movies again. I would love to do it. Just let us know down below if you enjoy these videos. I had a lot of fun. I'm sure you guys had so much fun doing it.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, very fun. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter. Keep contacting me, and... Oh, I just lisped for a second. And once again, check out Justin's channel. Like I said it before in the last video, but Justin's still involved with this video. So, watch his channel. He makes some really good films. And Ethan,
I don't have a YouTube
Ethan
channel.
doesn't have a channel, but...
Nah,
yeah, but...
not yet, maybe. I don't know.
I would say, like, if you see Ethan, just say hi to him. I would say...
That's good enough. Good enough.
And I've got a suggestion for your next top 10, Darwin.
What is it?
I think the best top 10 list to do is top 10 porn parodies.
First went OnlyFans and now this.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
That's like Justin's tradition. He always had to do dirty stuff at the end of the video.
That's
Anyway.
like my type of humour. And the best, and already on my list for the top 10 porn parodies would be Star Wars.
Oh my freaking god. We're not talking about those movies. No. This is a family channel, Justin. Okay. Well, not really. We kind of swear in this video.
You can cut it out if you want.
Nah. Alright, this is the last time Justin's gonna do that. Okay. So, guys, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notify for my latest videos. Justin, you want to join us in the end?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So, thank you guys so much for watching. And, you ready, guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, have a nice day. Yeah.